Okay. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do a little foldable activity. And you can use, if you have printer paper, that's probably going to work the best. It's a little bit bigger than our line paper. If you have line paper, you can use line paper too. Printer paper is just a little bit bigger, gives a little bit more room to work, but you can do the same thing with a line paper or any paper. You have construction paper. Construction paper would be good. We're going to put in our journal. So construction paper might make it a little bit bulky. I might steer away from that, but if you have it and you want to use it and you have a lighter color that you want to write on it, you can do that. Okay, but what we're going to do, we call this a Frayer model. It's just a way to kind of organize some information. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take and fold our paper on this vertical line of symmetry right there, because we got a landscape. We call that a hamburger fold, right? And then we're going to fold it again. And what we want to do is keep track of this side right here, because we're going to put another fold here. And typically, when we do this in class, students want to fold one of these other corners. It doesn't work out. So I'm going to fold it on its horizontal line of symmetry. This mainly means I fold it in the same on both sides. This is a horizontal. So I'm going to, if you keep track of your paper right here on this corner right here, if you fold the same way I did, if you look at it, there's no open ends. Those are all folds right there. If I look on this one, I can see some open ends there. All four of those ends are open right there, and this one looks like the same as this corner right here. But we want to look at this corner right here. It's basically going to be the center of our paper. So I'm going to take and fold a little dog ear it. So like when in books, the librarian tells you don't dog ear the book to keep track of your page. You can dog ear it here. And then when we open it up, we have a rhombus in the center there. That's a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides, 4 equal length sides. And this one works out to be a special rhombus. Anybody tell me what's special about this rhombus? It's got 4 right angles, which makes it also a square. So I'm going to take and right here on this vertex, I'm going to draw a line down where the fold was in the paper. I'm going to draw a line across on that fold, up, and then across. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on the board. That way you see a little different. I could do it right here on the paper, and getting tired of making the videos where you're just looking at my hands. This is Friday. I get to wear my jeans and my Spirit shirt, so pretty excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead, take you up here to the board. That's not bad. Okay, and so in the center of your paper, we're going to make a number. And we're going to do it in standard form. So standard form, and so standard form is the way we normally write numbers. And we're going to go ahead and make 9,623. So 9,623. I'm going to model it 4 different ways. First way, we're going to do it in word form. So write word form in the upper left-hand corner of your paper. So word form for 9,623. So we basically write it, and we can always look back in our journal on the page where we practice word form, and it tells how to spell the words correctly. So I'm going to give this a try. So that's 9,000, 9,000. I'm going to put a comma right there, because we're pausing when we're speaking, and we also use that to separate our thousands place and our hundreds place. Okay, so 9,623. Okay, and remember we hyphen between the tens place and ones place if we have a value in the ones place, and it's 20 through 90. So 23. So word form for 9,623 is 9,000, 620-3. Okay, the next way we're going to do it, we're going to do it expanded form. I don't write on the board a lot because a lot of times I'm kind of a messy writer, so a lot of times I like to do it on paper. It's a little bit easier, but I'm going to try and get better at writing on the board. So expanded form. So expanded form for 9,623 would be, underline, word form, expanded form. So expanded form, I'll start with a 9, which is 9,000. Value of the 9 is 9,000. Plus the value of the 6 is 600. Plus the value of the 2 is 20. Plus the value of the 3 is 3. So expanded form for 9,623 is 9,000 plus 600 plus 20 plus 3. Okay, the next way we're going to do it is expanded notation. Expanded notation. Expanded notation looks a little bit similar to expanded form, except I'm just taking the digit and I'm multiplying by its place value. So I'll take the 9 and I'm going to multiply that by its place value, which is 1,000's place. So 9 times 1,000 plus the value of the hundreds place, which is 6 times 100 in parentheses. Okay, plus the value of the 2. Value of the 2 is in the tens place, so it's 2 times 10, plus the value of the 3. And the 3 is in the ones place, so it's 3 times 1. So expanded notation for 9,623 is 9 plus 1,000, or take that, 9 times 1,000 plus 6 times 100 plus 2 times 10 plus 3 times 1. Okay, and the last way we're going to do is a pictorial model. Okay, or I like to call it base 10 because I'm basically going to draw base 10 blocks to represent 9,623. And that's going to take up the most space. So I'm going to write base 10 right here. Base 10. So I'm going to start in the thousands place. And you can go ahead and look back in your journal to if you forget how to draw the base 10 blocks. But we have a very specific way. I showed you the ways to do it and the ways not to do it, because sometimes they can get confusing, or they'll look very similar. But if you do it the way I show you, you shouldn't have any problems. But I'm going to start with the thousands place, which is all the way over here on the left. And on the thousands place, okay, that represents 1,000. So I'm going to do 9 of those. So I'm probably going to do an array of 3 rows of 3. That equals 9. And you should be able to subitize, we call it subitize, if you can look at it and tell how many that is. So you should be able to see 3 rows of 3 instead of having to go through and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could look at it and say 3 rows of 3 is 9. So that's 9,000. Okay, and those are, we call them cubes, 1,000 cubes. The hundreds, okay, we call those flats. We'll do 600s. That's just a square. I'm going to do 3 rows of 2. It's another thing you should be able to subitize. like on the dice, whenever you roll dice, you'll see 2 rows of 3 or 3 rows of 2. And that represents 600. Okay, our tens place, we do rods for the tens place. That's going to be 2 rods. That represents 10. And my units place, my ones place, is dots. Do 1 row of 3. So this is how you do the base 10 or pictorial model for 9,623 is 9 of these cubes, 6 flats, 2 rods, and 3 units. So you're going to go ahead and do this on your paper. I want you to go ahead and copy this verbatim the same way I did. And we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to put it in your book and where we're going to put it in our book. Go back over here. And there's our Frayer model. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fold it back up. And we're going to put it on page 16 in our journal. So on page 16 in our journal, okay, so when we put it on page 16 in our journal, we're going to go ahead and basically take your paper and lay it out in the journal like this to where it goes over to page 15 right here. And we'll go ahead and take and fold it that way and then fold it back down. And where we're going to glue it at is right here, just right here. So I'll go ahead and flip it over. And like I said, we don't use a lot of glue. If we use a lot of glue, it makes it a little bit harder to write later on. And it could squeeze out and then end up gluing our pages together. So I'm going to put this down here on the bottom. Glue it right there. You notice I use liquid glue a lot. Typically at school we don't use a lot. And I'm not sure if your parents will use your liquid glue at home. So use your stick glue if that's what your parents want. But liquid glue is probably about the best way to hold it on there. Unless you tape it or staple it in there. The staples end up making it harder to write later on. So I don't necessarily recommend using staples, but use what you got. And take good care of this because like you see on Friday, the activity we did last Friday, we could used our notes on our vocabulary, Unit 1 vocabulary quiz we took. And basically had all the answers right here. So take good care of your notebook. Take time and put things in there correctly. And because we can use it. We're going to reference this all year long. So that's the end of this video.